Unlocking the Soul, a podcast hosted by Rob Simperman and produced by Simplify Films.
Topic 59, The True Story of Lucifer.
Welcome. You may know by now that I'm a bit of an aficionado of high-quality channeled material about spiritual truths. I recently came upon another modern channel who blew me away. I found Guy Stephen Needler's work while researching an upcoming documentary about the New Earth, and I had to take a diversion to introduce him to you. Needler did some joint videos with my all-time favorite spiritual source, Dolores Cannon, on the topic of backdrop people. But today, I'm talking about the fascinating tale of Lucifer. This is Needler's A History of God, a story of the beginning of everything. Now, that's a lofty title, so of course I was skeptical, but I'll tell you, it lived up to the promise. I'm going through it a second time actually right now to try to digest it all. So Needler's book passes my personal filter for authenticity of channeled work. Number one, the information is consistent with other credible sources. That it really is non-contradictory where there's an overlap, and yet it goes deeper in certain areas to add new information not found elsewhere. Two, the information feels right in my gut, more like remembering something forgotten than learning something foreign. Three, he's not peddling fear. So many sources are rooted in fear and conspiracies and ego-driven personal salvation. That's a red flag that they're targeting the ego rather than providing beneficial wisdom. And number four, he's prolific. He wrote 14 books in addition to developing training programs on healing and readings. So as I like to say, it's not the easiest get-rich-quick scheme if there's no easy, no quick, no rich, and not even a retirement at the end. So this book documents Needler's extended channel dialogues during his deep meditation sessions. He mainly communes with the source entity for our group of universes. That's basically the representation of 1/12 of the full origin, or all that is. And he even talks on occasion to a personification of the origin itself. So it's rare that a channel claims to get their information right from the top, but like I said, it's certainly coming from somewhere near the top, because there's some impressive material here. So this video today is about a nugget from about 16 hours into this 18-hour audiobook, as I consume it. That's where, almost as an afterthought, Needler learns the story of Lucifer from the source entity. So my ears perked up because I had recently written that this topic was one that I wanted to explore further to share with my audience, and I should have remembered the simple rule that when you write down an intention, don't be surprised if it falls into your lap soon afterwards. So I was raised Catholic, therefore I learned all about hell, and by extension, the devil, Lucifer, Satan, the Prince of Darkness. In Islam is referred to as Shaitan, the Lord of the Underworld, or Hades in Greek mythology. This is the famous tempter of everyone from Jesus to the Salem witches to Eve, right? So I have since learned that there is pretty clear consensus among spiritual channels and regression hypnosis subjects and other sources that hell is not real. Those who pull back the veil of amnesia and perceive the spirit world say there's no eternal damnation. Perceptions of such are often based on expectations we picked up from organized religion, and sometimes we see these images during the initial confused introduction to our spirit home after death. And oftentimes it's a manifestation of a state of mind. Some souls find themselves here after a low-frequency life, which is an early stage of the healing process. See my film Unlocking the Soul for more on that whole process. But if hell isn't fire and brimstone, then what is this Lucifer character? He seems oddly specific and widespread to be a figment of the imagination or fiction. And didn't Jesus say, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven," in Luke 10:18? So for you, please click subscribe and like this video if you haven't yet, and let me explain this tale by Guy Needler's Conversations with the Source Entity. Here's where the tale starts. Humanity is currently the only incarnate race that is allowed to have personal choice, the ability to make its own decisions and live with the consequences. Other races have to do things by committee or by collective mind. We can make choices based on what the origin and other entities decide to put in our way. This accelerates our advancement, but has also led us to dropping down the frequency ladder to pretty close to the bottom. So low, in fact, that we've lost contact, for the most part, with our higher selves. The good news is that we're steadily rising again, with some help from higher beings. But how did we get into this predicament in the first place? Well, that is where Lucifer comes in. In fact, he's been classified as bad or evil in legends because his actions ultimately resulted in humanity's frequency freefall. He's one of the first entities involved in the physical human being program. Lucifer was a little overzealous, you could say. He debated vigorously for the course of action that his analysis showed would maximize humanity's evolution and experiences, so he was acting in accordance with the mission or goals for humanity. Now, entities on the opposing side of the debate thought that a high level of unrestrained free will was too risky. They surmised it would result in a slide down the frequencies to the degree that humanity would be cut off entirely from their higher selves, and that would lead to a downward spiral. But this was not simply a philosophical debate. These entities had what we can only understand as the most powerful supercomputers imaginable in the Akashic Records. Apparently, the Akashic Records are not only an eternal database of all of humanity's experiences, it can also be used to run simulations. So Lucifer ran the simulations. That was part of his job. But the output didn't support his pro-free will positions as cleanly as he had hoped. In fact, it showed that there was a significant risk of humanity sliding down the frequencies as a result of complete free will. But never to let data get in the way of a good opinion, Lucifer obscured some of the negative data when presenting it to the governing council. In other words, using his own free will, he misrepresented the probability of humanity's failure, thereby manipulating the committee overseeing the Humanity Project. So that was his historic crime. And it turns out that the Humanity Overseers were right to be skeptical, and that the simulation's probable results did turn out somewhat to be as they feared. But we also have had expansive opportunities to experience the lower physical realms as a result. And we're getting back on track with help, so therefore the higher frequency New Earth is again within our reach. So what happened to Lucifer? Was he cast out of heaven? No. Needler's conversation with the Source says that he was still involved, and is still involved to this day, in the Humanity Project. He got his virtual knuckles smacked with a ruler. He was demoted and reassigned, but he is a resident expert in incarnation into the lower frequency planes, so his expertise was, and in fact is, more valuable now than ever that humanity has found itself low down in the muck of the universe. So it seems Jesus' gossip about Lucifer was a bit of an exaggeration, if he said those words at all. It seems that the managers of our universe put Lucifer on probation. Perhaps Lucifer made a rookie mistake of judgment. Perhaps he was overambitious. So I suppose we should forgive him for that, just as Jesus taught us, right? So are there no dark forces or lower entities or demons at all? Well, here's where it gets interesting again. Needler's source entity conversations confirm that there are in fact lower frequency entities, and these entities will cease to exist on the Earth when we ascend at the planetary level. Therefore, they have an incentive to prevent our ascension, and so they antagonize those who work for the acceleration of our evolution. They also are attaching themselves to hosts to experience the lives of low-frequency humans. They are lost souls roaming the Earth looking for hosts that they can latch onto, like energy parasites. Then when a host or healer recognizes their presence, they get angry. But the Source told Needler that they are truly afraid. He says, they are just lost and afraid and can't understand what is happening to them. To send them into the light, all you have to do is invoke the Christ or God consciousness to protect yourself. Then, give them lots of love and send them back to the light by giving them the energy to do so. So, there's no devil except for the temptation within us, within humans, who choose to make low-frequency decisions by using our free will, which we can somewhat thank Lucifer for. And there are no demons except confused and lost souls stuck in their addiction to low-frequency behaviors and sometimes causing us trouble. Now, this doesn't mean that we're out of the woods as far as temptation goes. Anyone who believes in the devil is himself or herself the devil, for there is no such character, energy, or force in the environment contained in the origin. The word devil, in reality, is just a word taken out of true context for the resulting level of personal consciousness reached by succumbing to the desires of the physical. So, there you have it. Thank you, Source Entity. Thank you, Guy Needler. And thank you all for furthering your spiritual learning with me today. Please share this with like-minded seekers and subscribe to learn more.